Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you're currently watching the sexiest man alive in the universe. Back with another video. I didn't really get a chance to watch Extreme Rules last night because I was doing some other things, but I got a chance to watch it today. So you have to kind of forgive me if today's Monday and everybody's like, where the fuck's your review at? Everybody else in the YWC already got theirs up. Well, the reason why I didn't watch it last night. So I'm going to go ahead and give a review of each match, kind of the breakdown, the highlights of some of the matches, and then tell you what my thoughts were of the matches. So we're gonna go ahead and kick it off. Extreme Rules in Newark, New Jersey. The first match was a tornado match. The Usos versus Karl Anderson and Luke Gallows, and Anderson and Luke Gallows win by pinfall. This is what tag teams need to be as of right now. From now on in the future, all tag team matches should be tornado matches, because this whole match was pretty interesting. I know some people in the YWC were actually not giving any credit for this match. However, I thought with all four guys in the ring at the same time, you saw like so many things going on, and I thought overall this match was actually pretty interesting. It starts off with the Usos kind of running out of the ring and they're attacking Gallows and Anderson, and I thought that was pretty cool because it old shades the old Attitude Era where the guys are like not even waiting for the other team to get in the ring. They're like, nah, fuck it, let's just get it done with now. It's kind of like a hardcore match almost. Some of the highlights, one of the Usos was flipped over the barricade. You know, he was trying to run into Anderson, and Anderson flipped him over. And I thought that was pretty cool. He flew into the crowd. I thought that was a pretty cool segment in the match. Also, you had Karl Anderson delivered a knee to Jimmy Uso's face, which was a pretty cool move, even though Jimmy kicked out. Both Usos did a double super kick, I think, to Luke Gallows. And all of a sudden, the crowd starts to boo the Usos. Now, you have to forgive me. I don't watch Monday Night Raw or SmackDown or anything like that. So I'm asking myself, why the fuck are the Usos getting booed? Aren't they a face? But I realized they have, they started coming out and helping Roman Reigns and all that. So, you know, the crowd hates Roman Reigns with a passion. So, if you're an affiliate of Roman Reigns or John Cena, then you're pretty much, what do they say, that, one for one and one for all kind of ordeal. It's kind of like guilt by association. So, I guess the Usos are like another Roman Reigns. I mean, I know they're all related and everything, so that probably has a little something to do with it as well. Gallows and Anderson hit the Magic Killer on Jimmy Uso after he failed a splash attempt and missed Anderson, I believe. And he hit the actual ring bell on his stomach lining, so it kind of messed him up to where he was unable to recover from that. And Karl Anderson, Luke Gallows wins, just like I predicted my predictions. So that's 1-0 for me. Alright, the second match of the night, Rusev versus Kalisto. I knew this, for some reason, like, these two guys don't work well together. But they got, like, a pretty decent storyline together in a weird sense. But this is for the United States Championship. Rusev wins the match. It starts off with Kalisto giving like some, roundhouse kicks to Rusev's legs, trying to slow him down. Rusev counters it, puts him in like some kind of like body press slam. People start chanting, they want Lana. So obviously you can tell people are kind of bored of this match right away. Rusev puts the torture rack, which is Lex Luger's finisher in WCW. And I was not impressed about it. I thought it was kind of lame and kind of stupid for them to let him use the torture rack because it wasn't used properly. And I felt like it was more like a sleeper hold rather than like a finisher move for this match. And I just thought it was kind of stupid. It wasn't. That's really like a submission more than anything. It's not like a sleeper hold. And they like made it look like a sleeper hold, and I thought it was kind of lame. Kalisto did a flying move from the apron. He bounced off the ropes, flew outside the ring, and then did a Hurricane Rana to Rusev and like slamming his head into the steps. So I thought that was pretty cool. Rusev wins by submission. Kalisto was hurt, but then like they pulled Kalisto to the middle of the ring, and he puts him in that like the Cobra Crutch or whatever you call it, that move he has, and he like pulled him all the way back and forced Kalisto to tap out. So Rusev is your United States champion. I predicted Kalisto to win, so I obviously got that match wrong. Overall, the match was very stale. It was boring. A couple of highlights, like I said, but it wasn't really too much that I was impressed by. Match number 3, you got The New Day defeats the Vlad Villains. I don't know what I know. The Vlad Villains are supposed to like represent like old wrestlers in the 1860s during the Capital Wrestling era, because I think Capital Wrestling was like in 1840, and this is when wrestling like first started. And basically, like the Vaudevillains had some like chokeholds or whatever, some like old school tactic headlocks that were pretty cool. Simon Gotch was mainly like the aggressor of this match. He had some decent headlock moves that he put on, like a reverse headlock. I thought it was pretty cool. They were working their way on the New Day, and Xavier Woods didn't have a lot of momentum. And then Big E came in and kind of like alleviated the match and kind of leveled it out, made it even. But altogether, Woods ends up pinning Simon Gotch after he like he really used Daniel Bryan's move and like just kicked him in the head and then just like pinned him for the 3 count. And the New Day defeats the Vaudevillains to retain the tag team championship. Overall, this match, I mean, a gimmicky match. That's basically what it is a gimmicky match. But overall, I wasn't really like too intrigued by this matchup. I wasn't really interested in this matchup at all. It was kind of like the Rusev Kalisto match. All right, so we're going to kick off the next match, which is a Fatal 4-Way for the Intercontinental title, featuring The Miz versus Sami Zayn versus Cesaro versus Kevin Owens. The Miz wins. I felt like the match was pretty good. It was okay. I mean, like the start of the match, Sami Zayn delivers like a kick to the face to Kevin Owens. He falls out of the ring. He was like almost not even in the ring for like the first maybe 8 or 9 minutes of the match. Then Cesaro like gives a power bomb move to Sami Zayn, so it was kind of like Cesaro and The Miz were going at it for like the first 5 or 6 minutes of the match. One of the coolest things was like when Cesaro did a power bomb, he power bombed all 3 opponents off the top turnbuckle, so I thought that was pretty cool. Cesaro belly to back suplex on The Miz and Sami Zayn was pretty cool. Kevin Owens he stopped a lot of the guys from winning the championship. Like he stopped Sami Zayn a couple times from getting a pinfall, and he even stopped Cesaro from winning a couple times. And The Miz kind of took advantage. He was outside the ring, and Sami Zayn delivered a kick to the face to Cesaro, and it kind of knocked him out. And then he was going to pin him, and Kevin Owens pulls him out, and then Sami Zayn starts beating the crap out of Kevin Owens outside the ring, and The Miz just took advantage of the opportunity. He rolls into the ring and pins Cesaro for the 3 count. I felt like Cesaro was really like the dark horse of this match, because if you looked at all the moves, all the power moves, all the wrestling moves he did, you know, not even like the swingman thing that he does, but, you know, all the other moves that he did during the match, I felt like he really kept me entertained the entire match. And I really feel like there's no reason for The Miz to have the belt at all, but I mean, I guess his girlfriend or whatever's on the Total Divas, I guess that's the only reason why they're doing this. So The Miz retains the title. He pins Cesaro, who was pretty much knocked out from that kick, and The Miz ends up retaining the title in the Fatal 4-Way. And I thought the match was okay. I thought Cesaro really kind of was the dark horse. I really felt like Cesaro was the one that made this match really interesting to watch. Most boring guy on the floor, believe it or not, I felt Sami Zayn was probably the most boring one in the ring. I don't know why. I just wasn't intrigued by his moves in the ring. I don't know why. Maybe that's just me, you know. But The Miz wins the match, you know. Kind of moving on to the next match now, so let's go ahead and... you got the first ever Asylum match is Jericho versus Dean Ambrose. I didn't really anticipate this to be a good match at all. And Jericho's kind of, you know, past his prime. Dean Ambrose is okay. He's not really a good wrestler. I mean, like, he doesn't really wrestle like the kind of like high flying or anything like that. He's more of like just like a power move kind of guy. So I wasn't really anticipating this to be a good match, but Dean Ambrose wins the first ever Asylum match. I mean, I told you guys that Jericho was there to pretty much put him over. The fire extinguisher was used, straight jacket, a barbed wire bat, a plant that was never pulled down, and a bucket that had some thumbtacks in it. Jericho's asking for the door to be open, so apparently like he doesn't want to be in the match, which kind of like looked like kind of stupid to put that in there. Ambrose is kicking Jericho's ass like to start the match. Ambrose grabs the mop. He beats Jericho with it. A funny moment kind of in this match that I ain't going to lie, I laughed really hard was when Jericho had the barbed wire bat and Ambrose had the nunchucks. And he's like, "You see what I got, you idiot." And then the crowd was laughing. I'm not going to lie, I thought that was kind of funny. That was like one of the best highlights. You know, Jericho's always good for being funny. If you've fallen back to his WCW days, I thought that he was really funny. Another funny moment is Jericho starts hitting Ambrose with like this like I don't know what it's like, part of the straight jacket, and he's calling him whipping boy. He's like, "You like that, whipping boy?" And he just starts hitting him with it. So, you know, I kind of wish they would like bring the old Y2J back, where he was like whining and crying all the time. Because I felt like heel Jericho was always funny. You know, and Jericho's face is kind of boring. He's just a natural heel. But I thought that Jericho was funny in the match. But in terms of like the wrestling moves, I wasn't really intrigued about the wrestling match. Thumbtacks was used, and Jericho tried to put his finisher on him, but it didn't happen, and Ambrose ended up countering it and putting him on his back, and all the thumbtacks were all over his arms and stuff. And then Dean Ambrose put the dirty deeds on him, and then even got some thumbtacks in himself. But most of them, of course, were in Y2J, like all over his arms and his back and everywhere. It looked really bad. Like he was bleeding really, really, really bad. And anyways, Dean Ambrose wins the match. This match was actually probably the most boring match of the match card, believe it or not. The most boring match of the match card was Ambrose and Jericho. I don't know why. Call me crazy. I just was not intrigued by this match at all. Just a couple of funny skits, but nothing that I was just, you know, intrigued about. You know, like I probably wouldn't want to watch this match again. You know. I'm sorry about I apologize first of all about. Now I'm in the car versus when you saw me earlier in the room. It's got dark and everything, and I had to help my mom with a couple things, clean up and stuff. So I left off on the Charlotte versus Natalya match. That was actually the second to last match. Somebody please help me out here. I don't, and this is just me personally, I'm not sexist. There are some female wrestlers I like, Charlotte being one of them. My issue is, what is this Divas division or this Divas revolution? I don't really see like a revolution in Divas per se. I'm not interested in the Divas division. I don't know why there's this disconnect between me and the Divas. Like, I like some of the superstars there, and I like what they bring to the table, because I know they can bring a lot. You know, some of these wrestlers, these Divas got charisma, some can wrestle, but it's just like, to me, like from a story mode, I just don't see how I can get engaged with these Divas. That's just like my only issue with the Divas division. But as the match took place, there was a lot of submission moves. I really was not interested in this match at all. I thought it was boring. A lot of fans were chanting boring at one point. Some woman named Dana interferes. Because, see, I don't really watch wrestling as much as I used to, so I'm still trying to learn these women and these men that are upcoming from NXT. She interferes in the match because Ric Flair was banned from ringside, and her and Natty kind of got into it, and then Charlotte kind of ended up taking advantage of it and put the figure 8 lock on her, and she tapped out. If you looked at Natty's match, Natalya really didn't sell her moves really well. When she was being put in a submission, I thought like she kind of overreacted with the screaming, and it was almost sort of so redundant. It was so annoying at the same time. So I felt like the Divas match was kind of boring, so anyway, Charlotte wins. It was the right move. You know, she retains the title. Charlotte can wrestle, and not only that, but she's a very beautiful woman. I think that her as a heel works perfectly with her father. So to me, like, that's probably the best storyline they got going on in the Divas division, I guess, even though I'm not really interested in the Divas division. Now let's go to the final match. You got the Extreme Rules, AJ Styles versus Roman Reigns. Some of the important parts of the match, fans were chanting, "You can't wrestle." They're obviously talking to Roman Reigns. Fans were chanting, "Roman sucks. Roman sucks." Fighting goes into the crowd, you know, and it eventually leads to the kickoff panel. Thought it was a little like, wasn't really interested in it. Roman sucks chants happen again. Roman puts AJ Styles through the table, and the fans are saying, "You still can't wrestle." Fans chant, "You still suck too, Roman. You still suck, Roman. You still suck, Roman." AJ gives a shoulder tackle to the knee, and like Roman does his flip, and I thought it was kind of cool. That was like one of my favorite moves of the night. Let's see what else. Gallows and Andrews interferes in the match and hit the Moon of Doom on Reigns. Usos come out to clear the ring. AJ Styles put the Styles Clash to Roman Reigns twice, but was pulled away by Uso. Like when AJ Styles tried to make the pin, like Uso happened to grab him. When the Usos grabbed him, stopped him from getting the pinfall. AJ delivers a chair shot to Roman's and the Usos. He's delivering multiple chair shots to all three of them. And Roman spears AJ to win the match. AJ was jumping off the turnbuckle and Roman's caught him with a spear. I mean, you can kind of see that move coming because AJ's taking his time to get to the turnbuckle and Roman's just kind of measuring him and then just speared him. Seth Rollins pedigreed Roman Reigns. Seth passes the title, or he grabs the title and he shows it up, and then the show ends off like that. Now, I thought the match was actually pretty good. A lot of people are probably going to dislike the video right now, but I thought the match was actually pretty good. And Roman Reigns actually did like 2 or 3 moves that were kind of cool, even though the rest of his match seemed a little boring. I thought him putting AJ Styles through the table was boring. But the powerbomb move that he did to AJ was really cool. That was probably Roman Reigns' best move in the entire match. I actually thought it was a better match than I expected it to be. And I didn't have an issue with it at all. So, overall, Extreme Rules is it's a watchable show. It's not good. No, it's not great, but it's not bad. It's like good, basically. So, like, out of a 1 to 10, I'd probably give it a 7. I'd say the pay-per-view is watchable. Definitely a lot better than Payback. I don't know how Raw went tonight, so I'll probably ask my buddies or catch, Wrestling Jesus review to see how that went down. But anyways, it's the sexiest man alive. Comment, like, subscribe. Tell me what you guys think about the pay-per-view. Did you like it? Did you not like it? I mean, what were the things you liked? What were the things you didn't like? And that's it. I'm pretty much signing out. Peace.